Hello everybody, welcome back. Night before Halloween. Big things happening in the world. Got another room clear at the house, so that's exciting. Then I took PH's recommendation to go ahead and sign up on Indeed. Submitted some applications out there. Let's see what happens. I'm not expecting to get any work until the new year, so cheers. We're hopping on a little bit earlier tonight. This is the time that I would like to be getting on to do these live streams, kind of the ideal time. Obviously we have our stream goals system and everything complete now, pretty much complete. So what we're going to do, we're going to work on just deploying all these changes. We've got most of them already committed. So we'll get that deployed to our staging server where we'll operate our streams from now on. Let's see, do we still have Twitch up? Do I have to do anything? Let's verify. We might have to generate another token. Let's go ahead and do that because more often than not, we do have someone that says hello from Twitch. And I think they appreciate when I make the effort and show them that this keyboard not hooked up. It's not. Let's go fire up Twitch. We'll fire up our YouTube as well. Start. That works. Let's fire up our information loop. So that's working as well. Populate our subscribers. And hook up Twitch. Must still be inactive. Yeah, there we go. And see if anyone hops on. If they don't, I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I usually do and just get stuff done. Holidays, people tend to be out doing things, which makes a ton of sense. Also, whenever I make any changes to the title format on YouTube, it kind of throws things off, which is annoying, but it is the nature of reality. All right, that camera works. Usually we go through a little slump while YouTube recalibrates audience, then we get back to normal. We did have a stream last week where we got 3,000 views, which is awesome. I would have loved to have seen it with this goal system I've coded. That would have been really cool to see. We had one stream where we had 30 subscribers in one day, which is awesome for a little indie code stream. It's kind of hard to beat. Let's see. May as well notify the Discord. Populate live links. Alright, that sends out a notification to Discord with all the various views. Let's see who comes in from that. Anyone? The cool thing is the stream stats you now see as part of this stream update close to real time. Before it was like a manually refresh process. Yeah.
Code lock says type, help to see all the available commands for your live chat avatar.
Let's go ahead. We're going to destroy our MongoDB volume and staging server. We're going to recreate it with fresh data from production and capture some of these small CSS changes. We'll have our own Jenkins build pipeline, so this will be nice and easy to push out all the changes. Let's see, what do we need from here? We should probably include this. It's always important to do PR reviews in your own code. Come back and make that user ESM loader later. I don't want to break anything. Just want to capture what's already working. Oops. We don't want that. Do a separate stream to release the forgot password. Let's go ahead and deploy these changes with Jenkins. And we'll SSH into our staging server. Looks like we're already in. And then we have to delete our wrong server. It's 0.51. Yeah, there we go. Why is it a bit action? Oh, because we're rebuilding. All right, let's wait for that to complete. I'm gonna also set up here so we can do stream during the day. Yeah, I like this girl. She's awesome. Awesome sauce. We'll say hello once we get done with this stream. It's just gonna be a short one tonight, guys. Basically just getting set up for a Halloween stream. Ooh, but then I don't think I'll be operating the goal stats for the Halloween stream, but that's okay. Ooh, we still need to rewipe this database. So to do that, I'm gonna have to wipe the volume. And I don't think I did a named volume. So bear with me as I struggle through Docker again. So Docker space volume ls for list. And we're going to be blowing up this volume right here, Kynto server underscore MongoDB data. Once we do that, ooh, it could actually be release. I'm not sure which one it is. Let's do this one first. Once we do this, it's going to run my init script, which basically recreates the MongoDB container from scratch, which is ideal. So we might actually have this up tonight, which is good news. So our first step will be to bring down this container and all the associated services. So you're going to see it full screen of death, which is good. And then we're going to do docker volume rm. I think that's the command. And it's gone now. Perfect. So now when we boot this up, docker compose, build. We won't do it detached because we actually want to see this happen. Oh, I might actually have to go back because it recreates this directory. Maybe no files in it. Clear ls. Oh, that only happens in production. Interesting. Okay. Let's recreate our MongoDB instance and we'll watch that happen in real time. It's so quiet, it's like when I first started on YouTube. No one was watching me. But now I appreciate the silence, it's kind of different. You know, it's funny, even changing the capitalization in the YouTube title is enough to make it recalibrate. So it must generate like an MD5 checksum from the title, something like that, like a fingerprint. All right, let's see. So right now you can see it's populating all the collections. Perfect, beautiful. It's coming up really smoothly. It took a lot of trial and error to automate all this. It's for sure. A lot of learning how things worked. Oh, what happened there? Something wrong. Let's try it again. See, this is more like things have to go wrong. It's not going to be smooth. When it's smooth, you've got to be skeptical, or at least cynical. This means we'll be operating 3 different Kynto servers. And I've had some folks seriously ask me to use this in their own channels. To see the type of engagement it creates.
Docker PS looks like it's up, but I do not see server running. Do you? No. I wonder what's going on with that. No, it's not loading. All right. Let's fully take it down again. Uh-oh. We're getting issues with our network layer. It's active endpoints. Once I'm in a new job, I'll quit the bloody vapes. Worker not found. What is that even? What is that? What is that error? I've never seen this one before. Might have to update Docker. The staging server I run at the house, it's been running without interruption for probably close to a year. It's probably part of the reason. What in the hell? Puzzling. Absolutely puzzling. What we might do is bring Docker down completely and reboot it. This is the one that we're worried about. What we actually need to do is add an additional stage. We shouldn't be running Dockers right over the Jenkins workspace directory in the first place. It's just kind of laziness. Puzzling. All right, let's bring everything up one by one. We'll start with a database. Okay, WebGL container. Build. D for detached. Such service, of course. Something's going on. Alright, it should be there. What are you reaction about, man? What? Oh, we got our GPT for all stuff to release, guys. We got so much going on. It's kind of awesome. Maybe you're supposed to specify it after. Let's see. So it should be there. Alright, so it's starting out. Let's just manually boot it up. time. What's this supposed to be called? Server. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to be running that here. Oops. Yeah, how many times have you guys been like SSH into something and it ran something that's supposed to be running local? It happens. One good thing, like, you know, it's helpful is to, you know, make a red background for production for your SSH instance so you can easily know where you're in or suffer the consequences. This is strange. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. It's triggering. We made a change recently to our package JSON. I'm going to revert that because it's invoking this. So it's trying to like, alright, weird. So let's go back in time and we'll rename this for local start. So let's go back in time. And we just want to run Node.js. Alright, because we're literally trying to start Docker instead of Docker, which is possible to do, but that's not what we're trying to do here, just so you know. Alright, so we're going to do that. We'll rename this to start local. We'll commit this. We'll fire off our CID pipeline again, and we should be in good shape. Tell you, most people that are quote unquote front end, I'm not taking it to the level I am. That's because I'm more of a full stack developer, but the way corporations segregate teams, you don't always get to display all that.
Pujarani Travavi says hello.
Pujarani, hello buddy, how are you?
Said hi.
Yeah, you got an avatar. How are you doing? It's coming up on the weekend, so I hope you're having a great week. And just so you know, if you like this or subscribe, it'll update the stats in real time as well. I'm building a lot of tools with the feedback from the live chat. It's made it quite fun actually. I expect it's going to be quiet here tonight just because of
I am new
Halloween's
here. Can you
coming up.
tell what are you working on?
Yeah, so definitely. There's a lot that I code and a lot of build, but the system that you're chatting to me through and how you see my cameras and my screens, that's all coded by me. So I've coded an entire live chat stream subsystem. And so it lets me share my screen, lets me share my camera, lets me invite guests on. It's hooked up to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Discord, so you could just chat with me. I can hear you in my ear, and other people hear you in the stream as well. So if you wanted me to say it in as little words as possible, it's essentially a very powerful stream overlay. And everything's built in the web, but I have been branching out to Python recently as well. Make sure you join the Discord if you're interested in following the project. I'm curious, what do you like to code, or
Wow,
what
so
do you
cool.
like to
All
build?
is in JS.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. We're using WebGL, Canvas, WebSockets, WebRTC, speech synthesis, essentially just any cool APIs available in the web browser. I use them here, and this is my excuse to. And I appreciate you asking about it too. That's awesome. Ooh, computer's running slow. What's eating the system up? Let's see if any of our mods make it on tonight. I'm on a little bit earlier than I typically get on, but this is the ideal time that I want to get on, but usually I get on like 3 or 4 hours later than now. And sometimes we have very big streams and sometimes we don't. All right, let's see if we can start this up now. Appreciate the support. Make sure you like the video as well. It's the only way, other than chatting, to tell YouTube, hey, let's see what happens if we get more avatars on here. Because it is an experiment. I really like this kind of stuff. And it's great that I get to host it here. I appreciate that, that's awesome. And if you can see it updated the like counter, it should have. Let's make sure that's running. Just coded the whole goal system in the past 2 days. That was actually feedback from Truex. He's a big channel supporter. Interesting. There's some of the commands. There's a lot of them. All right, it looks like we did get staging up, so we won't be having to host these live streams with my local host anymore. Typically we host them in production, but with this, I'm pulling a lot of APIs to pull all this data in. And it's a little bit easier to not do it on an Amazon server, let's just put it that way. There's some limitations there. Okay. All right, let's see if we can roll it into this. There we go, beautiful. So now we have a full production backup of all our data running in staging. Let's see if we can activate our chat system in here as well. And just so you know, I have it working on a 20-year-old PSP. You don't see that on tonight, but keep an eye on the channel and I will be turning that back on. I coded that maybe a couple weeks ago. It was quite difficult. The PSP has 2 megabytes of RAM allocated to the browser and very basic JavaScript support. Incredibly basic. Okay, I'm not seeing all our front end changes here. Let's reload. PWAs have crappy cache situation. Yeah, we're not seeing it. Okay, we might be missing some changes. Let's go ahead and have a look. Oh yeah, we're missing this right here. So we can deploy certain parts of the project without having to reboot the server, which is great. I'm about to do that now. I know PH or Truex is going to see this, and if they don't catch me when I'm live, they're going to be like, oh no, you gave us no warning.
Any feedback, ideas, or things you'd like to see me code, or technologies you're curious about working with or haven't used before, let me know. This is all about experimentation.
In my current project I have a blocker. Can you suggest me something? The issue is I want to call an API when the user wants to close the browser. I tried using before unload event listener, but it ain't.
Okay, I do have an example where I do something similar. Let's see. So if I open this chat and attempt to close the browser, it should prevent me. Let's see if it works. Yeah, so you see, you might not be able to see this. It's in the middle of my screen, but it says leave site, changes you made not be saved. So let's have a quick look how I implemented that. I don't know if you'll be able to make an API call though. It might be a blocking event, but I'll show you what I did. I appreciate you bringing up your blocker. I think it is on unload, right? Give me a minute. I have to, this is a big project, so all right, here we go. Yeah, so looks like I attached an event listener onto window for before unload. So I don't know if you're using unload or before unload, but you want to capture that event and then you want to call prevent default, and then that should block the browser from closing until they click the leave. So essentially creates a prompt, and you have two things, like if they click cancel, it stays. But you might see something interesting. It prevented my WebSocket heartbeat system from operating. So technically this is disconnected from the server. So I don't know if you can make an API call, but because like I said, the WebSockets went dead for me, but this is what I did here that actually prevented it from closing the page. Hopefully you can give that a wee try or let me know if that's what you tried already. Okay, so you did use before unload. Just confirm if you used event period prevent default. That's critical. Because if you don't call that, the page will still close. You might have to get hacky. You might have to spawn like an iframe in the page to make that request. I've often found myself having to get hacky with the web browser to get by some of the limitations. So all options are on the table, and sometimes you are the one that has to figure it out. Let's see if we can make an API call real quick, actually. Let me see if I can find one in here that we could call. Let me see. Most of this is not API calls, it's WebSockets, but I do have some API calls, so I just need to find one in here that we can reuse. So bear with me while I find one. I'm going to look at my populators. I think I have some calls in here that we could hijack. All right, what we're going to do is just copy this out. This is just to test what your little situation. Typically I would export it, blah, 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 but. Oh, looks like I'm doing it in here. So there's two ways. You can register an event listener, or you can literally put it on before unreload onto the window object. I think this is what's being called. Let's find out. the old class component. I've refactored most of the React classes out, just so you know. Don't know if we can make this a async function, but we'll try. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, that's in staging, so we have to try it in the local. We'll get an alert, but we'll open our network inspector and separate it. Hopefully it doesn't disappear, but I expect it will. All right. Okay, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to see if it makes the call. Okay, so it does make the call, but it doesn't complete because this alert or prompt prevents it. So I can see that it is making the call. If I click cancel, then it goes through. So that was this call right here. But let's try it again. This time we'll click leave and we'll see if the call completes. No, it doesn't complete there. A hack might be sending the data in an image request. So calling an image that's not actually an image, you can use that to make a request. Maybe that'll get through. So, Pooja, let me know what you end up coming up with. I'm sure you'll find a way around it.
So can I show an alert to save session and leave when they want to leave? Then they would cancel and I would show the pop to save and call the API and then close the browser.
Yeah, so what you can do, what we just showed here, is you could definitely start the API call. It's going to be held up though. So when that prompt comes up, it's a system prompt. When that comes up, it basically pauses your network call. But if they click cancel, then your call will go through successfully. So they would have to, maybe, I think there is a way to specify what you want the buttons to be, maybe like, save changes and cancel, and then they'll be able to close it. So they might have to click it again to close it. But you can make the API call. It's just what I showed you here is it's going to prevent that call from going through if they just straight up click leave. So maybe you could say your changes are going to be discarded if you leave, if you just click leave. But if you click save, then we can save your changes. Then you could safely close. So you would unmount this before unloads. You would only have this prevent them from leaving if they have unsaved changes, which is, I'm assuming, what your use case is, right? But you absolutely can, and you could do an async call in here and await it. I think the best thing would be to probably not await it though. Let's see if that goes through. Because you're more worried about getting the changes off than showing the user feedback. Let's find out. Oh, I forgot to open the inspector because we have nowhere to track it. Hold on. Try and move this so you can see it. It's not using my whole screen, so please bear with me. All right. Okay. No, so it is locking up that call. I don't know if you can see, but the call says pending. If they click cancel, then your call will go through, you're able to save the data. Then we have a successful API call. So even if you don't await it, that's your problem there. But if they straight up click leave, it's going to just get rid of everything anyway. Let's see if we can customize the buttons. I believe you can. So you could say save and leave or something. Okay, so you can't customize the buttons, but you can customize the confirmation message, which you populate with event.returnValue. Good job. Make sure you're subscribed as well, because I'd like to hear about your project as you check back. I'll just be on for a little while tonight. But I'm assuming you're coming from India, which means it's daytime for you, right? I've worked with a lot of Indian teams, so I'm quite familiar. Alright, I don't think we have any regulars checking tonight, but maybe I'll come back on in a couple hours. I stream almost every night here, coding and building systems, testing things.
Sure, thanks for the suggestions, we'll try things.
Well, 100%. And thank you for checking in and asking. I like talking code, if that's not clear already. Alright folks, I think what we'll do is I'll still come on in a couple hours. I'm going to log off for a little while, get some dinner, and watch some more of my TV show. Because it's Halloween after all. Alright. Good luck and Pooja, I hope to see you again. There's a Discord on my channel, so if you click on my YouTube profile, you'll see a bunch of links. The first one should be Discord. And yeah guys, I will be back if I can speak properly. And you see that I manage all my streams, everything through the system I built. So that's how I shut them down, that's how I start them. And this is what it looks like when I shut down a stream. First we disconnect all our YouTube avatars. stop the data sync. And it turns that off, and then I come up here, and I can control OBS remotely. So we'll start by stopping the recording, and then stopping the stream. All right, folks. Happy Halloween if I don't see you.